It's Friday. We've made it to the end of the week, and this is weather for Weather Geeks. And thankfully, last night was not quite as bad as it could have been. You know, we never really advertised that there'd be a bunch of severe weather last night and big time problems. But we had the outside chance of everything coming together just right. But what we basically had happen was a line of showers with some embedded thunder that moved in at about 10 o'clock or so, kind of robbed the moisture and the instability from the stronger line of storms that was out across western Ohio. So as that line in western Ohio moved east, it weakened considerably, and that led to just some rain last night, some wind. But as you can see here, I've got the wind damage reports plotted up here. There was no wind damage reported anywhere northeast Ohio, western Pennsylvania. Several reports out in southwest Ohio, even a possibility of a tornado. They were going to go out and survey this. I believe this was just north of Dayton in here. I haven't seen the results of that. The results of the survey might be out, but I just haven't stumbled across it yet. But certainly some wind damage reports there. There were several reports of tornadoes out in Illinois, some wind and hail in Indiana. And then this is where the heart of it was, as advertised. Down in through here, Tennessee Valley. It was a rocking night through there last night. So we got away pretty scot-free. And also some good news on the flooding front today, because the rain last night was not as heavy as it could have been, and the snow melt is, a little more gentle as a result of the lack of real heavy rain. The flooding situation for the Mahoning River, both at Leavittsburg and down towards Youngstown, not nearly as, kind of ugly as it looked 24 hours ago. Now the river expected at Leavittsburg to crest around 8 feet, and that'll be during the course of Saturday. That is a little above action stage, but not into minor flood stage. So kind of dodged a bullet there, it looks like, and I'll show you the graph here down towards Youngstown. The expected flood stage here occurring, or the crest that is, probably as we speak, early this afternoon, maybe up around 8 or 9 feet. Again, above action stage, but not into the minor flood stage. So good news all around there, and the weather's quite a bit quieter today locally. Let me show you what's going on here locally this afternoon. We've got temperatures in the lower 40s. We've got clouds around, some breaks of sun mixed in here as well, and we've even had a couple of sprinkles cruise through, especially over in Mercer County over the last hour or so. Nothing more than just real light rain or just sprinkles. Temperatures are above average, yes, but we are done with the 50s. We had those 50s last night. That felt nice. We're not going to see those anytime real soon. Tomorrow, temperature-wise, doesn't look bad, but then, boy, step down coming Sunday into next week. We've got ongoing problems with the possibility of severe weather along the East Coast. This is the line that caused a lot of the problems in the Ohio Valley yesterday. It's now moving across the East Coast and down through the Carolinas with lots of severe thunderstorm warnings, eastern North Carolina. And other than that, the playing field, the weather playing field is quieting down a little bit. You can definitely see how deep this low-pressure system is. Look at this thing up here north of Lake Superior. This is down around 978 millibars, and for you weather geeks out there, you know that that's really deep for a non-tropical weather system. So that's a big hunkin' storm up there. That is for sure. All right, let's talk about our weather as we head into the weekend. Saturday is going to be pretty uneventful. A mix of sun and clouds. There's this weak little disturbance getting ready to cruise through, and this light green here showing where there could be maybe a quick rain shower. Maybe there's a wet snowflake mixed in, but this doesn't look like much at all on Saturday. Sunday, as the cold air comes in, there's probably going to be a little disturbance that comes through the Ohio Valley. Now, different computer models have different ideas on this. Worst case scenario with this is that there's a band of light snow that gets up to about here, and maybe we get an inch of snow on Sunday. I think that's the worst case scenario at this point. I think the more likely scenario is that there is a snow shower or some flurries around, and maybe they get their inch of snow down along the Ohio River. Again, this is Sunday. This is something we'll keep an eye on as the new models come in this afternoon. We'll bring you up to date, but as it stands, as I'm recording this a little after 2 o'clock, I'm not real concerned about accumulating snow here Sunday. Just an outside chance. The worst case scenario is that this comes far enough north that we have a little bit of nuisance snow on Sunday. Monday is looking uneventful, mix of sun and clouds, and as it turns progressively colder, another disturbance comes in. This is Monday night into Tuesday. Now this, I think, has a better chance of giving us some nuisance accumulations. This is Monday night into Tuesday morning. GFS model here gives us probably a couple of inches, maybe a few inches out of this. So we'll be taking, again, a closer look at that later on today. You'll see my fresh updated forecast on 21 News at 6 as all the information rolls in. Don't have quite all the information just yet, but preliminarily, Monday night into Tuesday, that's our next chance for a minor snow accumulation, assuming that Sunday, that little system doesn't come too far north. Tuesday, some leftover flurries, and then as we head towards the tail end of next week, there may very well be a pretty significant snowstorm on the East Coast, but I think the odds really favor this missing us to the east as we head towards the end of next week. Our story is going to be the cold, that is for sure. The European model, total snowfall through the end of the month. This takes us right out through the next week, taking us through the end of February. As you can see, there's not much to be had here. When you add up the next week's worth of potential snowfall, a few inches maybe in total over the next week, with some higher amounts over towards the East Coast. This is just one model, but it does go to show you that the pattern for us does not favor big snow events as we close out February. The pattern certainly favors a lot of cold, though. I'm going to show you the upper level flow here starting today and taking us through the end of the month, and a couple of significant things will happen. This is Monday. The polar vortex, the dreaded polar vortex, will be up over where it should be, northern Canada. But as we go through time then and head towards the middle and latter portions of next week, watch this thing dumbbell down and take up a position that it was in during the heart of winter when it was really cold here. And that's a position, just north of the Great Lakes up near Hudson Bay. When this vortex comes this far to the south, and this is Thursday's map we're looking at, when it comes this far to the south, that's a recipe for some pretty serious cold in northeast Ohio and western Pennsylvania. So this is going to stick around, it looks like, for a couple of days, ensuring that February is going to end on a very cold note. I think we're going to have some highs in the lower teens towards the end of next week. So we head towards March. This is next Friday into next weekend. Notice that bubble of real intense cold retreats back to the north. Our flow across the U.S. becomes a little more tolerable, a little more west to east. And that will mean that the worst of the cold is probably out of here. It's not exactly a warm pattern heading into the first week of March, but it won't be quite as harsh as it will be at the end of next week into next weekend at the very end of February. All right, that's Weather for Weather Geeks on this Friday. 21 News on tonight at 6 and after the Olympics at 11:30. Again, I'll have the latest thinking on any potential minor snow opportunities over the next week. In the meantime, have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you for another edition of this video Monday afternoon.